Senator, as someone who enlisted in the military specifically because of Al-Qaeda's terrorist attack on 9/11 and committing myself and my life to doing what I could to defeat these terrorists, it was shocking and a betrayal to me and every person who was killed on 9/11, their families and my brothers and sisters in uniform. When, as a member of Congress, I learned about President Obama's dual programs that he had begun really to overthrow the regime of Syria, and being willing to, through the CIA's Timber Sycamore program that has now been made public, of working with and arming and equipping Al-Qaeda in an effort to overthrow that regime, starting yet another regime change war in the Middle East. DoD Train and Equip program, again, begun under President Obama, is widely been known, looked at, and studied, that ultimately resulted in over $500 million being used to train who they called moderate rebels, but were actually fighters working with and aligned with Al-Qaeda's affiliate on the ground in Syria, all to move forward with their regime change and not acknowledging what was obvious at the time and what has unfortunately borne true, which was that a regime change war in Syria, much like the regime change wars in Iraq, the toppling of Gaddafi and Mubarak, while these are all dictators, would likely result in the rise of Islamist extremists like Al-Qaeda taking power.
Damn.
I shed no tears for the fall of the Assad regime, but today we have an Islamist extremist who is now in charge of Syria, as I said, who danced on the streets to celebrate the 9/11 attack, who ruled over Idlib with an Islamist extremist governance, and who has already begun to persecute and kill and arrest religious minorities like Christians in Syria.
I understand.
Why that should be acceptable to anyone is beyond me.
It shouldn't
is
be.
certainly
And I
not in our
understand, and
interests.
They not gonna play with Tulsi. Hey, Tulsi, hello, man. She might be finna get first. That's the first clip.
Yeah, she got in there.
She is cooking.
She got in there in that all white. Say, y'all not finna play with me today.
Why were they mad at her?
Senator.
Wait,
They said she was a Russian ally.
Goodness gracious.
You know, anytime they can't get a grip on you, Russia.
Do you believe, as the chairman of this committee believes,
Colorado.
as the vast majority of members of our intelligence agencies believe, that Edward Snowden was a traitor to the United States of America?
Senator, if confirmed
This
as
is when the
Director of
rubber
National
hits the road.
Intelligence,
Damn.
I will work with you to make sure that there is not
a
another
moment for
Snowden-like
social
leak.
media. It's not a moment to
fuck are you
propagate
talking about?
theories, conspiracy theories, or attacks on journalism in the United States. This is when you need to answer the questions of the people whose votes you're asking for to be confirmed as the chief intelligence officer of this nation. As my colleague said, this is not about you. It's about the people that serve the intelligence agencies of the United States.
You're a punk.
Is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America? That is not a hard question to answer when the stakes are this high.
She's finna laugh.
Senator, as someone who has
Your
served
answer,
in
yes
uniform,
or no, is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America?
as someone who has
I'll go on
worn
to
our
my
uniform
questions.
in combat, I understand how critical our national security
Apparently
is.
you don't. Apparently you don't. Let me ask you. I've worked.
She didn't get not a word out right there.
I mean, they want them to say yes or no, but then that's clickbait. It's like, bro.
Well, sometimes
can't.
they'll ask something yes or no, and it's not so easily answered.
Well,
Yeah, because you gotta explain it more. Yeah, you have to.
I don't know what they did. I know what I'm trying to do.
National security is my I know it's not.
You're going to be
Okay.
the head of that.
You don't
my
care about.
God.
They're gonna say
She been
you.
to war.
Oh, this is
We supposed to listen to
Arkansas.
some nerd
Our boy
in
from Arkansas.
Colorado. She been to war.
See what he think.
I'm dismayed by the attacks on Ms. Gabbard's patriotism and her loyalty to our country.
100.
For instance, Hillary Clinton has smeared Ms. Gabbard, calling her an asset of a foreign nation.
Wow.
Let me remind everyone that Ms. Gabbard has served in our Army for more than 2 decades.
Damn.
She has multiple combat tours, and she still wears the uniform to this day.
Damn.
She has undergone 5 FBI background checks. I spent more than 2 hours last week reviewing the latest, putting eyes on more than 300 pages. It's clean as a whistle. It's fine that we have differences of opinions on policies and programs. I suspect some of my Republican colleagues might disagree with some of Mrs. Gabbard's votes in the House of Representatives. Just as I suspect that some of my Democratic colleagues might criticize Ms. Gabbard's statements and actions since she saw the light and left the Democratic Party. But I sincerely hope that no one today will impugn Ms. Gabbard's patriotism and integrity.
You cannot.
20 plus years.
20 plus years, still wear the uniform to this day. And Ben, he said, how many tours she went on? 4, 5?
I don't know, but I heard 5.
He said multiple
not
tours.
regular background checks.
FBI.
Background checks.
Weaponization.
5 of them?
Weaponization.
They was going through them
And
emails.
we know who in control of the FBI.
Weaponization.
Not the good guys.
And she looks, and she was a Democrat. So how are y'all gonna sit here and
They put her on the Secret Service checklist.
Nothing was funnier than her and Kamala. Remember we used to react to that? She fried Kamala.
Man,
Bad.
Ended Kamala. Kamala said
this is the most exciting one.
Here are just a few other examples. The American people elected Donald Trump as their president not once but twice. And yet the FBI and intelligence agencies were politicized by his opponents to undermine his presidency and falsely portray him as a puppet of Putin. Title I of FISA was used illegally to obtain a warrant to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, using a Clinton campaign-funded false dossier as their
Claims.
so-called evidence.
The Reapers.
Biden campaign advisor Tony Blinken was the impetus for the 51 former senior intelligence officials' letter dismissing Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation specifically to help Biden win the election.
Wow.
Former DNI James Clapper lied to this committee in 2013, denying the existence of programs that facilitated the mass collection of millions of Americans' phone and internet records.
She abusing them.
Yet was never held accountable. Under John Brennan's leadership, the CIA abused its power to spy on Congress, to dodge oversight, lied about doing it until he was caught, and yet has never been held responsible. Under Biden, the FBI abused its power for political reasons to try to surveil Catholics who attend traditional Latin Mass, labeling them as quote-unquote radical traditionalist Catholics. Personally, just 24 hours after I criticized Kamala Harris and her nomination, I was placed on a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies.
She was. I
There
remember
it
that.
is.
Sadly, there are more examples. The bottom line is this must end.
Yeah, I forgot they had.
I'm rocking with
They
Tulsi.
had a terrorist, a literal veteran. They had her as a terrorist.
Well, we
They
can't
got
say
her.
that. We can't say
She
that.
pulled up
The
today
last terrorist
in
and
all white with the white streak
what
on
you
her,
said?
ready to play no
that don't
games.
What
That
did
ain't
you
not
say?
seen Tulsi, but the last terrorist was a veteran.
The New Orleans.
The New Orleans
What
one.
that got to do with somebody that passed 5? I bet he wouldn't pass 5 FBI background check.
Yeah,
no.
facts.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know, we don't give a damn what you say.
Hey, I'm just saying you can't just say that. You cannot just say
That was a
that.
dumbass comment.
Weaponization.
That ain't no dumb
That was a
comment.
dumb
Recently, that just happened.
Nah, bro.
But I'm saying,
That was a dumb
typically,
comment.
being a veteran boosts your resume.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
trustworthiness.
Yes.
No,
That's
but
what I'm
he-
saying.
Yeah.
20 plus years, still wear the uniform to this day. 5 background checks, clean as a whistle. Weaponization.
It just seems as if you don't agree with them, you're automatically a Nazi.
Literally.
No, you a Russian.
Are you a
you
a
a-
Nazi?
Oh, you a
Are y'all
Russian.
Russian spies?
Just because you don't believe,
Y'all are 4 niggas voting for Trump.
so you believe something was in that
Did you
laptop.
sell out your blackness, brother?
You must hate yourself.
You hate your mama.
I love you, Baba.
You know your hair nappy, boy.
Syrian, and even in some
Austin
cases,
Powers.
my concern
That's
has
Dr.
to
Evil.
do with the tendency to repeat Russian and Syrian, and even in some cases, I think we'll get into in the closed session, Iranian information, and to discount what comes from our intelligence
Is that how this
community.
is?
Senator,
Thank you.
every
Thank you.
American deserves to know that people in our own government We're providing support to our sworn enemy, Al-Qaeda. That should not be acceptable by anyone.
Hell no.
I'm sorry, y'all.
He
Y'all
wants
might-
$50 trillion.
He don't look like that. He look like Jerry Jones if he was bald all the way.
You know, he's who Kamala Harris would have been Kamala Harris VP if it wasn't
Tim.
It was Tim, and
Buttigieg.
Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, Tulsi, yeah.
That's a real shooter right there. Oh, she look good. Majestic.
I wish we would have got that picture.
I know. When she was doing the book sign, I wanted that picture.
Remember, you were about to buy a book. They said only one of you, though. We said, dang, but we got to buy 4 books to get the picture.
I'm honored and grateful to President Trump for his trust and confidence in nominating me to serve our country as the Director of National Intelligence at a time when trust in the intelligence community, unfortunately, is at an all-time low. Chuck Schumer admitted a few years ago, quote, "You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you." For too long, faulty, inadequate, or weaponized intelligence have led to costly failures and the undermining of our national security and God-given freedoms enshrined in the Constitution. The most obvious example of one of these failures is our invasion of Iraq based upon a total fabrication or complete failure of intelligence. This disastrous decision led to the deaths of tens of thousands of American soldiers, millions of people in the Middle East, mass migration, destabilization, and undermining of the security and stability of our European allies, the rise of ISIS, strengthening of Al-Qaeda and other Islamist jihadist groups, and strengthening Iran.
Damn.
Recent intelligence failures, as well as the lack of responsiveness to your requests for information, whether it's the surprise October 7th Hamas terrorist attack, to the sudden takeover of Syria by Islamist extremists, failures to identify the source of COVID, anomalous health incidents, UAPs, drones, and more.
Dang.
If confirmed, I look forward to working with you to address these issues. Ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people is a mandate of leadership that rises above partisan politics. If confirmed, my commitment to the President, to you, and to the American people is this: I will do my very best to find the truth, no matter where it leads, and share that truth with President Trump, his advisors, and you in Congress, providing you with that unbiased, timely, and accurate intelligence as you make the tough decisions that'll impact the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. Now, before I close, I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that'll challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country. Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States, accusing me of being Trump's puppet, Putin's puppet, Assad's puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used against President Trump and failed. The American people elected President Trump with a decisive victory and mandate for change.
Cookie.
The fact is, what truly unsettles my political opponents is I refuse to be their puppet. I have no love for Assad or Gaddafi or any dictator. I just hate Al-Qaeda. I hate that we have leaders who cozy up to Islamist extremists, minimizing them to so-called rebels. As Jake Sullivan said to Hillary Clinton, quote, Al-Qaeda is on our side in Syria. Well, Syria is now controlled by an Al-Qaeda offshoot, HTS, led by an Islamist jihadist who danced in the streets on 9/11, who is responsible for the killing of many American service members. Democrat senators in the past resorted to anti-Christian bigotry against some of President Trump's judicial nominees like Amy Coney Barrett and Brian Boucher. I condemn those actions as a Democrat in Congress at the time, as religious bigotry must be thoroughly condemned by all of us, no matter the religion. Unfortunately, there are some Democrat senators who still don't understand the principle of freedom of religion and Article 6 of the Constitution. Quote, no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Unfortunately, they're once again using the religious bigotry card, but this time trying to foment religious bigotry against Hindus and Hinduism. If anyone is sincerely interested in knowing more about my own personal spiritual path of Hinduism, I welcome you to go to my account on X, where I'll share more on this topic.
She Hindu?
I think she was.
No, she probably still is now. The way she just said that.
She said my personal journey with Hinduism.
That's how she
That means she's a Hindu.
Yeah, it's whatever.
That's
man.
interesting.
That is. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
But I'm
Learn
keeping
something new
100
every day.
She might got my favorite one so far,
I ain't
man.
gonna lie, she stood on business. She was very
She
professional.
stood on business.
No emotion, stone face, all business. And she looked good. Came in there looking
Donald
good.
Trump got
She
the
looked
most
good.
got the most diverse cabinet I've ever. I haven't seen a lot of cabinets, so I don't know. But this diverse, bro. In fact,
For Republicans,
as far as qualified and diversity,
They
he got
say
it.
this is the most unqualified cabinet
Well, that's
we've
the
ever
most
seen.
bullshit I've ever heard.
I think Trump assembled the Avengers to save America.
Just-
We don't have any more paid puppets in positions. We got soldiers ready to get down to work.
I mean, the lady that's the secretary, she's 27.
Yeah, Caroline Levitt. She is.
I'm not
young.
talking about just white, black, none of that. I'm talking
Caroline
about
Levitt is
ages,
young.
from Hinduism to Christianity and from everywhere. He got the
We went
head
from
of
a-
the FBI. He's what, Hindu?
We went
Probably?
from a black dyke
I don't know.
lesbian
We don't know his
to
religion.
We don't, but
Caroline
I think he
Levitt.
is. I think he is.
we don't know his religion. We can't just say because
He's Indian, bro.
They don't mean that they all.
He's probably Hindu.
That doesn't mean that, bro.
All of them is not Hindu.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
they
I'm
got
tripping.
they got a big Christianity population there.
Maybe
too.
I'm tripping. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
They're
this is a
not
lot
all-
of different people.
Yeah,
So,
bro. It's looking good for us. Dubs in the chat for Trump and them, man. We knew Trump needed to win, and he won.
Well, to be honest with you, nobody should care about your religion or anything if you're doing the job.
Well,
we
yeah,
just
it's in the
need you to do your.
Constitution.
You just need you to do your job.
Serve
That's
the
all
American
that
people.
matters. Do your job. To be honest with you, we don't care about who you effing. We don't care about who you want to be. Do
I
your
agree.
job.
Are you competent? Are you a getter, a doner of things, buddy? Do you get things done? Because if you don't, you won't get the job.
Oh, that's what they were talking about, Edward. I don't even know.
You don't know who Edward Snowden is?
Oh, who is that?
Oh, he
sounds familiar.
exposed a lot of stuff, boy. Oh, he done exposed a lot of corruption. They telling Trump to pardon him. Y'all know who Edward Snowden is? Oh, that boy. I think he
So
used
that's
to
why
be in
they're
the
upset with
CIA
him.
or
The
something.
Democrats are upset with him.
Oh, he was exposing shit.
So he was
So
exposed.
he went to
in there.
jail for it?
What?
Who put him in jail? Joe?
I've never heard of him.
oh, no,
I mean, he
he's been in
sounds
jail for a
familiar,
long time.
definitely.
I was gonna say
He's
you
been in jail
said.
for a long time.
I thought you talking like Joe just put him in that.
No, he been in there. He been in that slammer. But no, he exposed a lot.
American Russian whistleblower.
Yeah, he exposed stuff.
Why they name him that though?
Because
Is
he exposed.
Is he Russian or something?
No, he's American. He
So
exposed.
this is
that-
what Google's gonna tell you.
But he exposed like American and people taking money from Russia. That's where you a Russian spy come from. 'Cause he was exposing that shit.
Oh, that's why they call him American Russian whistleblower.
Because he exposed corruption between America and Russia. He whistle blew.
That's why we getting Russian bread.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Even though we haven't
exposing
gotten any
shit.
yet.
Nah, Edward Snowden is really
These
exposed
Democrats.
stuff. That's why they say he anti-American, because he pulled the mask back and they threw him in that slammer.
Wow.
Damn.
It really is really deep,
It gets deep, man.
but that's a rabbit hole for another day.
I guarantee it's so deep.
Oh, it's
Oh,
extremely
It's
deep.
extremely. deep,
Well,
bro.
Tulsi
This-
it's
cook,
extremely
guys. The Democrats are corrupt, and that's just what it is right now, guys. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. We're out of here.